In photography, there is a lot of emphasis placed on what camera was used rather than the actual photos. So today I want to flip the script on that. So let's get straight into it, have a look at the photos, and then afterwards we'll talk about the film stock I used, why I chose that film stock, and we'll go through the camera a little bit more. Keep your eyes peeled for the special features that this camera has, and we'll talk about them after the clip. If you're still here, thanks for watching that. My partner tried out his new Telecaster for that song and he makes all the music for the channel and I think it's really great. So last time I shot in sort of overcast conditions with ColorPlus 200, I noticed that the camera was using an aperture that was creating a shallow depth of field, which isn't really my style. I'm always trying to keep everything in focus and have a completely flat image. So this time around, I thought if I used a faster speed film, the aperture would stop down and give me a wider depth of field. This was quite challenging light that I shot in, but it did give this like hazy kind of dreamy vibe that I was really into. It's rain. Keep going in the rain. Episode in the rain. Lucy Limon's Analog Adventures in the Rain. So this film comes out of the Kodak Fun Saver disposable camera. I have read on a few blogs that people take the film out of it and use it in a different camera as it's kind of hard to actually buy itself. Although I have also heard that Kodak 800 is actually Lomo 800. Who knows with film stocks anymore? It's like Fuji is Kodak, Lomo is Kodak, everything's just Kodak. So the camera that I used was my Canon SureShot Tele, otherwise known as an Auto Boy Tele in some other countries. I have done a video on this camera before early on in the channel. I'll pop a card up here if you want to check that one out. Some people had some questions. A lot of people had questions in the comments about the wide range of features that this little point and shoot has. So I thought it would be worth revisiting it and sharing some of those with you guys. So double exposure. This camera has a double exposure feature, which I think is really fun. I haven't used it before. This was my first time and we only did one shot as I'm always worried about double exposures looking really messy and like wasting film, but it's something I definitely want to do more of because I do think it looks really cool. So you pretty much just hold the button in when you take the first shot and then just take the next shot and that'll kind of like superimpose it onto the last one. So super easy to use. So the next feature that this camera has is a soft focus filter. You can use this by just holding down like this wheel and a filter just comes over the lens and gives this kind of like Vaseline, Bold and the Beautiful kind of look. And someone joked on my last video that it's kind of like a really cheap Pro Mist filter. It definitely doesn't look as good as a Pro Mist filter, that's for sure, but it is really kind of cool for like a portrait, I guess. It gives like a, yeah, like that dreamy sort of look, and it really suited the vibe of the photos that we taken that day. So this camera is really underrated. It has a wide range of features for a point and shoot, and it's also got a twin lens as opposed to a zoom on later point and shoots, which I think is better because your like image quality is going to be a lot better if you're using that rather than zooming in. Admittedly, it's not as small as other point and shoots, and it does look pretty chunky, but it's actually really light, and I would definitely take it if I was like traveling or like, yeah, just going on like a photo walk. Really easy to carry around. But if you think this is chunky monkey, then check out this guy, the Sure Shot Zoom XL. This beast is massive. So on Canon's website, it says that this camera has like an SLR quality lens, and we ran a roll through it, not really expecting much, just kind of like family shots, and holy moly, they looked so good, and I can't wait to use this camera again. So recently I've been putting some vlogs up on my Patreon page of me going through recent rolls that I've shot at a slower pace and kind of more in depth. I have just popped a new vlog up on there about a roll of Ecta that I shot recently, and I actually plan to print some of those photos. So if you'd like to find out more, then join me on Patreon. All the details are down below. So as you know, if you've been watching the channel for a while, I'm a total Nikon fangirl, but if you want to see some more Canon infidelity, then check out this video coming up right here.